Kate is one of Australia's leading social media coaches and trainers on social media and digital marketing. She's the founder of Social Mediology and Social Media Success Academy, and she teaches businesses how to use Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all the other social platforms. She also does training and coaching, one-to-one strategic development, community management services. And she's been doing this for a really long time. And she's an expert in facilitation of this kind of content and also speaking in public. So if you're really keen on Kate, you can follow her on Social Lights. That's a podcast that she's built, connecting change makers and innovators of the world to their tribe through social media. So welcome, Kate.
Thank you very much, Amanda. It's great to be here, everyone. So we specialise particularly in organic content on social media, and what we're really good at with community building is the hyper-personalisation that's really needed to connect with your audience. So that's what I want to talk about today, because there's no question that the future of digital marketing and the current of digital marketing is hyper-personalisation. You want your customers, your audiences to feel like when they see your social media content that you're speaking directly to them. And so I want to give you some strategies around how you do that. And everybody talks about your customer avatar. I am going to go right back to basics, because while it's not business as usual right now, it's a really, really good time to get back to those foundations and make sure that you know exactly who you're talking about. So when we work with people around this, we want them to get super specific about their avatar. You know, what gender are they? What age are they? Where do they live? What's their socioeconomic status? Are they married? Do they have kids? Because if you can truly understand the characteristics of your avatar, then you know where to find them on social media. There's no point going to LinkedIn to find, you know, there are certain industries that you're just not going to find on LinkedIn. So, and if you've got a really young audience, TikTok might be where it's at, and you're not as likely to connect with them, say, on a Facebook news feed. So if you know the demographics, and didn't press the timer, I'm notorious for speaking over time. If you know the demographics of your audience, you can then go and find them much easier. And we're connected to people like us on social media. So if I'm in any way, shape or form your avatar, a 40-ish-year-old woman with 2 kids under 6, a new puppy dog, I live in North Brisbane, but I grew up and lived in Sydney for most of my adult life. If I'm your avatar and you can connect with me and deliver value to me, and we'll talk a bit more about that, then I'm connected to a whole lot of other people like me. I am connected to hundreds of women with children under the age of 6. So if I'm your avatar and you connect with me, you deliver value, you create content that's meaningful and that actually answers some of my biggest challenges and frustrations, I'm likely to engage with that content. I'm likely to share that content, and I lead you to your next best customer organically through that process. So when we work with people, we've got a strategy that I'm going to share with you today, and it's hands down the best way to figure out the content that your audience really want to hear. Because what I'm noticing a lot of people have done in this time of pivot and change and position, and I've run webinars on all of that too, is that they're broadening their audience because they're desperate, they're panicking, they're trying to find new and different audiences because their audiences are shrinking somewhat, depending on which industry you're in. But what happens when you do that is you start to broaden your message. You start to become less relevant to those who are your core audience. And so you want to hone right back into who is your ideal customer. Now, if you don't know who that is, think about who are the top 5 customers that you have or that you'd like to have, and that you'd like 100 of those. What are their characteristics? And actually name your avatar. You know, our avatar for the Social Media Success Academy is Sarah. How did I come up with Sarah? We looked at our database, and out of the thousands of people in our database, Sarah was the most common name on our database. So that's how we came up with Sarah. She's over 40. She feels overwhelmed and struggles with social media and how that works for her business. And so we're really clear about who that is. And it means that every time we create content, we're talking directly to Sarah. But the best way to find out what Sarah wants to know from us is to go into Facebook groups. So you want to join all of the Facebook groups, and this strategy is not about you going in as a business and spamming people or telling them about yourself. This is a very different strategy. You want to find the Facebook groups where you know your avatar hang out. Now, I got a LinkedIn message, it made me chuckle yesterday, from somebody who said, "Hi, Kate, great to connect with you." Like, it came through 30 seconds after she connected. And it was, "Hi, Kate, great to connect with you. I'm one of Australia's leading social media mentors, and I help businesses like yours get online and work out what it is that you want to say on social media. I'm running a free webinar on Monday. I'd love it if you'd join. And if you've got enough time to share with me what it is that you do, I'd love to hear that." I'm like, right, you read my profile before sending me that message. And I don't mean to be arrogant, but she kind of missed the mark with her audience on that one. So don't go and join, you know, if you're a vet, don't go and join the vet groups, go and join the puppy owner groups, go and join the groups where your avatar is hanging out. And there's this fabulous little part in a Facebook group, which is the search function. And what you want to do is search, if you came up with 10 keywords that you know people use to find your business, type those into Facebook groups. And what you want to do is find the exact language that people use to describe their challenge. So if I go into a group like there's, you know, the like-minded bitches drinking wine, not a fan of the name of the group, but it's a great group with hundreds and thousands of women that all share lots of great information. And I type in Facebook, I type in LinkedIn, I type in social media. There are hundreds of questions and comments that come up in that group. Now, I'm not going to go, I may go and answer some of them, but that's not what this strategy is. What I'm talking about is taking the exact language, the exact challenges, the exact words that people use to describe those, and that's where you start with your content. That is the kind of content that you want to be sharing right now, is addressing people's challenges and problems, frustrations, the things that are coming up for them during this change, this time of, you know, immense uncertainty. So I really encourage you to identify who your avatar is, find out where they are on social media. And LinkedIn groups are also a wealth of knowledge for this. And I'm not talking about, you know, breaching privacy or doing any of those things, but every time we work with a client, this is where we start. That's the starting point. Because otherwise you're sharing what you think people want to know. And often we have a much greater understanding of the challenges that we address. But if you can actually get it from your avatar's perspective and from where they're at and meet them where they're at, then you can start to map out a content strategy where you can do stepping stones. You want to break down your content into small, bite-sized, manageable, shareable, engageable pieces of content that lead people on a journey, like Yvette was talking about with the funnel. You want to step people through a journey. And often what we do is we go, here's our business, here's our sale. We want to move people from here to here. And the reality is social media is about micro steps. So one of my mentors always says, you want to make the next step so small that it's impossible for them to fail. So what's the very next thing? What's the one little piece of information? What's the one answer, solution that you can give them that moves them along that journey of know, like, and trust, which we all know everyone in this industry talks about. Because the more that you can be authentic and human and that people can get to know you, the more that you'll connect with them and the more that they will feel like you truly understand who they are, what their challenges are, and how it is that you can help them. The last thing I guess I want to say is just around professionalism. A lot of, particularly women, but a lot of people get really caught up in the whole how they look. And Suzanne spoke about this, Yvette spoke a bit about this. Critically important to get that to the best level that you can. But look at morning TV right now. They are all sitting in their lounge rooms broadcasting. You know, there was never a time more so than now that you can get away with showing up with whatever the best is for you right now. Because so often people stop and they hold back and they don't want to share or step out of their comfort zone because they're worried about what that's going to look like. Now more than ever is the time to test and try and be creative and step out of your comfort zone and really share with the world who you are, what you do and what you offer. because there are absolutely people looking for, you know, as Amanda said, changing brands, looking for new businesses to engage with at the moment. So you have a great opportunity to do that.